Hello everybody and welcome to A Kinda Crafty Kenzie. Today I have some Shabby Chic spring and Easter decor for you. So let's go. To get started, we're just going to start off with one of these little palettes from the Dollar Tree. I absolutely love these little things. I have so many of them in my stash all the time. I love making all kinds of things with them. There is like endless possibilities with these little palettes. And I just gave it one coat front and back of the Waverly chalk paint in Cashew. I'm loving this color right now, especially for Easter. I don't know why. It's kind of funny how I tend to like go for one color for a specific season or holiday, but I am finding that I'm doing that. But like I said, I love this color. So that's all I did here. Just one simple coat, front and back. Then I saw this pack of napkins at the Dollar Tree and I thought, oh my goodness, these would be so cute to Mod Podge onto something. I loved that wheelbarrow and that watering can and those flowers. I thought they were so pretty. So that's exactly what we're going to do here, guys. So I've never Mod Podged a napkin before. So there's a first time for everything, but you get like 18 in a pack for $1 and there's like multiple pieces in the napkin itself. So, I mean, you could really mess up a lot here. But as you can see, I did remove the Hello Spring from the little wheelbarrow. I didn't like it on this. I just wanted something a little more simple. I just wanted the flowers and the wheelbarrow and stuff. So that's all I did here was just put some Mod Podge down on the palette, laid the little napkin down on top of it, and then Mod Podged over top. The only thing that I didn't like that I did when I placed those extra flowers is I left space between the napkin pieces, as you can see, and I kind of put them in a straight line. And as I was doing it, I was like, what are you doing? But that is just my like symmetrical OCD brain keeping everything like all my little ducks in a row. I don't know, you guys, but it's okay. I still think it's really, really cute. So after I got the first layer down, as you can see, then I just went over top of those napkins with that Mod Podge again, and I really hit it hard. Like I said, I had never Mod Podged a napkin before, so I did not know how this was going to work out, but I wanted this to almost like become one with the palette. I did not want you to really see the definition between the napkin and the palette. So as I'm Mod Podging, then I grabbed my little water bottle that I also got from the Dollar Tree. I love to have this like in my craft area, just some water in it. That way you can use it for like, you know, mixing your paints and things with some water to water them down. But as you can see, I just spritzed the napkin and kind of kept it saturated. And I did this back and forth for a little bit. Even as it was drying, I would go in and do it some more because I wanted it to just like kind of, I don't know, you know, like mold itself around the palette. So that's all I did here, and it was really fun to like play around with. And like I said, if I screwed up, no big deal. I mean, there's a whole bunch of more napkins in that pack that I could just keep trying again. After I did just go ahead and let it dry pretty far along, I just took a skewer stick and cut down through like where the palette is perforated, because I definitely wanted the napkin to form in, you know, into those little, you see what's going on. Because sometimes the words are really hard to find to describe what I'm doing. So after that was all nice and dry, I knew that it was going to need some help to stand up, and I did not want you to be able to see the tumbling tower blocks from the front, so that's why I chose to glue them that way, and it worked perfectly. And then just to add a little spruce to this, I just made one of my little jute twine bows where I wrap it around my hand and then just simply tie it in the middle, as you can see, and then I just attached it to that top left corner. And I think for something so inexpensive and so simple, this was fun to play around with, and I really think this turned out pretty cute. But let me know what y'all think down below. If you are new to my channel today, I just wanted to take a second and introduce myself. Hello and welcome. My name is Mackenzie, aka Kenzie, and I am so glad that you are here today. If you love everything to do with DIY and crafting, upcycling, turning trash to treasure, and some shopping hauls, then you are in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on. You can also find me over on Instagram and on Facebook. All the links are in the description boxes and in my bio. Next, we are going to go ahead with this adorable little Easter bunny head from the Dollar Tree, of course. I didn't care for the burlap bow, so I wanted to remove it, and as you can see when I did, it pulled some of the paper off. I also removed the carrots because we're not going to use those right now. We are going to use this leftover Christmas bulb ornament that I have from Christmas time, obviously, and as you can see, I just removed that metal hanger because we're not going to need that right now either. So I did forget to sand down that little tour piece before I started painting. I also forgot to fill the holes, which I go back in and do in a little bit. But all I'm doing right here is just covering the ears with like the desired amount of cashew that I wanted on his ears, and then on his face I just went over it really lightly because I didn't want to cover up completely like the drawing of his face, because as you can see I just took my paint markers and I went in and just kind of elaborated them again. I had to cover up the boo-boo where I tore the paper, so that is why I chose to go ahead and paint him. Plus I didn't know if I was going to be able to perfectly match like the Christmas bulb I'm going to use for his body with the color of the paper the Dollar Tree used, so I figured just go over top of it with some colors that I had so everything would match. But as you can see, I just went ahead and like traced over what Dollar Tree had already done and then just filled it in with the paint markers. And I get these paint markers off of Amazon, and they will be linked below in the description box. After I was satisfied with his face and I let it dry, then I am going to go ahead over top of it with the cashew chalk paint. This is kind of like distressing in reverse. Instead of like sanding over the face to lighten up the coloring to make it look worn and distressed, I'm just going over top of it with paint to do the same effect. Obviously, I didn't want to sand his little face off. That sounded terrible. So then, like I did with his head and face, I just did the same thing with the Christmas bulb, which is now going to be his body. I just covered it with some cashew. I did give this 2 coats because when it dries, that wood tone comes through, and I wanted everything to match. So then I used some of these leftover hearts, and I did the same thing with the cashew to make his little feet. After all the cashew had dried, I went over top of the entire bunny with a little bit of the elephant chalk paint by Waverly, just to kind of pull out some of that gray tone that was already in like the paper on the bunny head. And then I decided that I wasn't really loving how that kind of really darkened it up a lot. So I went back in with some white, and I thought it was kind of cool, and my daughter even said the same thing. It almost looks like hair, like over his belly and stuff. The way the brush kind of takes the paint. So I thought it was kind of cool. But after all of that, I did sand over it, of course, because I wanted to. You probably hear my kids. They're fighting in the next room, so I apologize. But real life here. So, yeah, so anyways, I just went over it with white, and then I did go over and sand around the edges because I love to bring out that wood tone, and then lighten up some of the distressing paint that I took over the face. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. So now it's time to assemble our bunny, and I knew that getting the feet attached to the body was going to be a little tricky. So first I just went ahead and attached the feet together, and then I kind of like just held my ball there, Christmas bulb there, while I attached some glue and a little cube block from the Dollar Tree to the feet, and then I covered that with a glue, and then I kind of like pressed the Christmas bulb against it. You can see what I'm doing. It's probably easier just to show you, but it was really hard to get this angled so you guys could see. But then I just went in with a couple of the tumbling tower blocks and some more of those little cube blocks, and I just built. I just built his brace. Nothing fancy, definitely not pretty. Don't want to look at him from behind, but that was the best I could come up with to get him attached without drilling holes into his like little body. Then I went ahead and just did the same thing with the glue and to attach the Christmas bulb to the head of the bunny. So I decided to do the crisscross messy bow look on this little guy, and it is a little guy because his little bow is blue. I don't know, when I think Easter Bunny I think boy. I don't know why. Let me know. Do you guys think that, or is it girl, or do you not care, or what's your bunny? Anyways, I just thought this bow would be kind of cool to bring out like some of those creamy, like from the cashew, and then the burlap and just the blue, because I love that blue burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. And so it's really easy to make a messy bow. You see what I did. I just cut the strips, cut them in half again, made 4 sections, and then just overlapped them, tied them together with some jute, and then just attached it to his little chest. Now I don't like the way the jute looks on the front of the bow. It looks kind of empty, so I did go ahead and take some of my white twine and kind of like sew a little button, or faux sew a little button on there, because I totally hot glued that on there. But I did go ahead and thread that twine through so it does look sewn, and just attached it. And I thought it was super adorable, but I still thought he was missing a little something something. So I went ahead with some of this burlap I got from Joann's, and I created a little burlap pocket on him. I did this a lot when I made scarecrows back in the fall. I do have that video down below, and I'll link it just if you guys want to check it out. But I love this look, the little burlap pocket, and my daughter was like, it's kind of weird on a bunny, and I was like, well, a bow's kind of weird on a bunny too, but oh well. So then I just took some greenery pieces that I had from Dollar Tree, Walmart, just a bunch of places that I have in my stash, one of those little carrots from the Dollar Tree, which I did cut off that raffia greenery on the carrot, attached my own little greenery piece. Wow, my video goes faster than I can talk, but here he is. I think he's cute. Now we're just going to use this leftover stretched canvas frame. It was one that my girls had, and they had like painted something on the canvas, then decided they didn't want it anymore. So, recycle and repurpose, never waste. And I just covered it with one good coat of the chalk paint in agave. You guys, I'm obsessed. I told you in my last video, but I love, love, love this color. It just screams spring to me. I'm so excited to be able to be using it. Then I did go ahead and distress over it with just a little bit of the white chalk paint, because I took these 3 eggs from the Dollar Tree and beat the last couple drops of paint out of that bottle, because I am super stingy when it comes to my paint, believe it or not, and I don't like to waste a drop. So I did go ahead and give these little eggs one coat, and then just distress them around the edges to bring out that natural wood tone. I wanted to make sure that the way my eggs were connected would fit in the frame, so obviously I just made sure that they were, and I even glued the top one, middle one on top of the other ones while in the frame. That way I knew I wouldn't slip and they would be connected, or they would fit in. Then I just gave a little reinforcement with one of these medium-sized glue sticks. I took some more of those Hello Spring napkins, and this time I'm just going to use the Hello Spring part, and I just Mod Podged it down, the hello on one egg and then the spring on the other. And you guys know how to Mod Podge stuff down. I don't really need to explain that to you again, but I did actually cut out a couple of the little flowers, especially the ones with like the little blue ribbon on them, because there's a lot of blue in this project, and I just Mod Podged them down as well. And after I went over top of the napkin with the Mod Podge, I did spritz it with some water to give it that same effect that I had did on that palette sign in the previous project. And it blended in with the eggs even more, because obviously I painted the eggs white, so that napkin like became like transparent. You know what I mean? I did hit it with the heat gun. I wanted to see what it would do, and it sped it up a little bit, but really it didn't do a whole lot. Then I just used this cute little sticker from this little pop-up sticker pack from Dollar Tree and just attached it there in the middle. I thought that was so cute, and that little chair matches my frame really nicely. Then I just simply pulled some jute cord through. You guys, this is the cords that I cut off all of these signs that I say I always keep them. Well, there it is. That's why it's so thick. I always keep the jute that I cut off of all these Dollar Tree signs. I don't waste stuff. I mean, recycle on purpose, y'all. It will save you money. And as you can see, I just tied my eggs to the top, and then so they wouldn't slide around, I did attach a little bit of glue to the top of the frame under the knots after I attached this cute little bow from a pack of bows I got from Amazon and some tumbling tower blocks so that the frame could sit up on its own. And then I just trimmed down the edges of the ribbon, and this cute little Shabby Chic spring sign is all done. For our last project today, we're just going to take this leftover picture frame that I had here around the house. Don't ask me where I got it because I don't know. I think that my girls had it and they took the picture out of it and maybe put it in a bigger frame or hung it on their wall. I don't know. But they bring me stuff all the time. They're like, Mommy, do you want it? And I'm starting to feel like a hoarder because I'm always like, yes, I could do something with that. So the things that you save when you craft, it's like, I can find a purpose for this. It kind of gets ridiculous. But anyways, I did cover this frame with plaster chalk paint just because I didn't want it to be that bright white and I did not want to distress this. Then I covered the backing of the frame with 2 coats of the celery, which again, you guys, I'm obsessed with that green. I think it is so pretty and nice for spring. Then I just assembled the frame back together, easy peasy. Then I took one of these little wreath forms that I got off of Amazon in a pack of, I don't know, a few. I'll have them linked below. And then my daughter's giving me her opinion on what florals I should use and how I should do it. But really, I just went with it. I just cut some little greenery sprigs off of little pieces of floral picks that I had from Walmart, Dollar Tree, even Joann's, wherever, and then added a couple little white wildflowers from the Dollar Tree, and then just glued the wreath onto that backing. Then I took some of this burlap with the lace on it. I got this from Amazon a while back. You can get something similar to this from the Dollar Tree. It's just a little bit wider. And then I just assembled a simple little bow. I just cut the piece, then cut the tails, and then just tied it in the middle with a twine. Easy peasy, you guys. Super simple. And then that was pretty much it. I just attached that little bow to the bottom of the wreath, dovetailed the little ends, and this guy is all finished too. And I think it is so perfect and just enough touch of shabby chic, but so pretty for spring and summer. I'm absolutely in love with it. Okay guys, are y'all ready? Because here comes the final reveal. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me today. I had so much fun creating more Shabby Chic DIYs. I remember telling you guys in my last Shabby Chic video that I was definitely loving it, and I love it even more. I'm like obsessed. So there are definitely more Shabby Chic and French Country Easter and spring DIYs on their way very soon. I have made so much. I'm just loving it for spring and Easter. I don't know why, but I just love it. Anyways, you guys, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As you can see, I love to do the Shabby Chic in French country. I also love to do farmhouse. So if you like those kinds of videos, you're in the right place. Don't forget to turn your bell notification on before you go. And please, 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 if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel grow, and I appreciate it so, so much. Let me know which project was your favorite down below, and I will see y'all very, very soon. Bye, guys.